Today we're talking about a stupidly simple trick to help you make any habit actually stick.
Dr. Seuss in the flesh. Thank you, sir.
Life is beautiful.
All right, so this might be one of the greatest analogies I've ever heard about the human brain. You ready for this?
Yeah.
It comes from Jonathan Haidt, his book, The Happiness Hypothesis. And he says, you should imagine yourself riding on top of a giant 6-ton elephant. You've got the reins in your hands and you're sitting up there nice and tall and you're completely in charge. And you are that rider. That rider represents your logical brain. This is the part of your brain that sets goals and make plans and wants you to be better. And that gigantic elephant underneath you, that's everything else. Those are your emotions, your cravings, and your gut feelings. And what Haidt says people don't understand is that it's physically impossible for you to control that elephant because it is a 6-ton giant. The only thing you can do is try to steer it, right? But the moment that elephant decides it wants something, there is basically no stopping it. And so I thought that was such a strong and accurate analogy because I had a moment the other day where it was like, that is exactly what happened to me.
Explain.
I've had this goal to be ready for my beach 30th birthday party that's coming up. I want to look super jacked for it. I know it's a goal, a vanity goal, but you know what? I don't freaking care. I really just want to look good and feel proud of myself when I take my shirt off. And so I've had this goal, as I've mentioned on this podcast a couple times, to count my calories every single day to make sure that I'm in the caloric deficit so that I can hit this body weight goal that I want to hit. Mm-hmm. But the other night, we had just finished with our keynote, and I was in a celebratory mood because we finally finished this huge project, and the Knicks' first playoff game was on, and my brain basically was in fuck it mode. It was just like, we're going to celebrate tonight. And then by the, your willpower is drained at nighttime on top of all that. So the Knicks game was on at night, and I said, you know what, let's get some pizza. I got some pizza, and I ate basically like 4 slices of pizza, maybe more. And then after that, my wife's sister calls us up. She lives nearby. She's like, hey, I'm going to Carvel. Do you guys want anything? And I immediately, without even thinking, said, yeah, I'll take a soft serve vanilla ice cream with rainbow sprinkles. So 2 minutes later, I have 4 slices of pizza in. And then on top of that, I have this ice cream with rainbow sprinkles, and I'm just feeling like absolute dog shit about myself the very next day because I went way over my calories, and it was just a slippery slope from there. And so the elephant had basically completely hijacked the rider in that moment. And
So explain to me the analogy with the elephant in this situation. What was the elephant?
The elephant was the one who wanted to basically just eat pizza and ice cream and just have immediate pleasure. It was the cravings. Cravings had won.
But then there was a little part inside of you
that knew that was wrong, but had no control over the freaking
lost to the gigantic
elephant. Yeah. And that's what happens to all of us, right? We have these intentions, these really good intentions in moments where we feel like we're really excited about our goals. And then when push comes to shove, the elephant will win. Mm-hmm. And I think it reminded me of this thing that I learned from James Clear in Atomic Habits. So he has like the laws of behavior change. You familiar with that from the book?
Yep.
So the first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. All right. So what he means by that is to basically design your environment in a way that makes it obvious for you to stick to that habit. And so the most simple example of this is like, if you want to meditate, leave your meditation cushion out. If you want to go to the gym, leave your clothes out to go to the gym. If you want to eat healthier, get rid of all the junk food in your house and put vegetables right in your face, right? Give yourself cues to make it easier for your elephant to not make those really dumb decisions. Yeah. So with that in mind, I changed my background of my phone to something probably the most vain thing I've ever done in my entire life. I've been having my phone upside down wherever I go because I don't want people seeing my iPhone background. It's an AI generated photo of me on the beach, basically imagining me at this beach party, but completely shredded with like a 6-pack. And so now, in those moments where I want to order the pizza, I just look at my phone, which Nick is currently looking at with the face of disgust. And I just see, it's obvious that this is my goal, and my elephant will see that, and now it's less likely to go and make that stupid elephant decision because I got my elephant on the same page as the rider. Because I can't control the elephant, but I could do my best to try to make it obvious for that elephant to know what it should do.
So that was you trying to design your environment in a way that influences your behavior.
Exactly. Using the first law of behavior change according to James Clear. Correct.
Which is make it obvious.
Make it obvious.
So how does that picture make it obvious for you?
Because it's right in my face of like, this is the goal.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the goal very obvious. It makes the motivation very obvious. It's like, don't have the pizza, don't have the ice cream because this is why.
Yeah.
If I don't have this picture and this reminder of like the why, which is the beach day, then I'll lose the motivation because in that moment, I'm not thinking about the beach day. But now that I have this background that's super embarrassing, I have that top of mind. It's obvious.
Sure. I think by far the biggest thing for me with this rule has been my diet and the junk food in the house.
Yeah.
Right? Like one little trick is if you do have junk food and you really can't get yourself to throw it out, put it like all the way at the top shelf so that it's not obvious, right? That in order to get it, you literally have to get a chair and climb on top of it to get this junk food, right? That's the opposite of making it obvious, right? And then, like you said, fill your fridge with all healthy snacks, fruits, and vegetables. That's making it obvious that you're trying to make this decision to consciously eat healthy.
Yeah, but I think it's not even just with health. It could be like a journaling practice, like
for sure.
removing the friction to going and doing that thing. So like keeping books out if you want to read, keeping your journal out on your desk if you want to start that journaling practice.
Another thing I did with working out was I've been preparing my bag for the gym the night before and having it right in front of my door. So like as soon as I wake up, I know like
it's obvious.
I don't have to think. But another thing when I was doing CrossFit was I would register for the class the night before. So in my head, I already signed up for this thing. I had to go now. Right.
Yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily making it obvious. I feel like that's a different psychological mechanism of the commitment.
Why? Because I would see it on my calendar that said you're going to
that's
class.
A different story.
You have this class schedule.
No, that's a visual cue.
But I also want to talk about Steve Jobs a little bit because he was a master of designing environments to shape human behavior.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of along the lines of what we're talking about here, right?
That's exactly along the line.
So one thing that he did geniusly well was he really believed in engineering spontaneous collaboration.
Okay.
And he designed both the spaces of Pixar and Apple to do that. So a lot of times when people go into work, right, they sit at their desk or on their floor where it's accounting and over here is
the different departments,
marketing, right? And nobody really runs into each other.
Right.
So this is what he did at Pixar. He mandated a massive central atrium that housed the mailboxes, the main cafeteria, and the only bathroom.
Wow.
So it forced animators, technicians, and executives from entirely different departments to constantly cross paths, sparking informal collaborations and conversation that would have never happened in isolated offices.
You know what this reminds me of? Have you ever seen the show Bar Rescue? Where the guy John Taffer comes in and he like goes to shitty bars and he revamps them. So I'll never, for some reason, this is like burned into my head. He went to a bar one time and he said, "We got to create a butt funnel." And what that basically means in a bar is you create a very thin strip where like people have to rub up against each other in order to get to the other part of the bar, so that you're forcing these really tight body to body interactions within the bar so that there's more like hookups and there's more like
really wow
yeah
very interesting.
For some reason I will never forget. I've only seen one episode and I'll never forget that. Anyway, environmental design.
This happens all the time, right? Influencing people's behavior through design.
Yeah, so the call to action for today, I know we're going a tiny bit over here, so sorry about that, but the call to action is to think of a goal you have and alter one thing in your environment, design one thing in your environment that makes it easier for your elephant to go and make the right decision. So whether that's keeping your journal out on your desk, your meditation cushion by your bed, getting rid of the junk food, meal prepping for the week, gym clothes out, whatever habit it is, go out and make it obvious using this concept of environmental design.
Love it. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Love ya.
Peace.